1 2 1 2 here at the press conference. Jake Ball.
8, 9,
Yeah.
10, 1, 2. Okay.
Brilliant. Danny Flexen here for Seconds Out, light heavyweight Jake Ball. Jake, we're here to announce or talk about your fight with Craig Richards. It's been a long time coming. Obviously, it got cancelled the first time. There was talk about maybe rescheduling it for December, I believe. Just first of all, tell us why December wasn't possible, and then how much you're looking forward to it finally coming together.
Yeah, no, December wasn't possible because obviously, as you know, I've moved to the Ingle gym now. I train with Dominic Ingles, and Liam Williams is boxing the same night in Manchester. So obviously, I can't fight without my trainer in the corner. And yeah, to be honest, February 2nd, it's what, just under 3 weeks away now. Looking forward to it, training hard. And I'm just looking forward to getting in the ring and just showing everyone what me and Dom's been working on in the gym, and the changes in me, and the improvements.
And what are those changes and improvements? What are the main ones that you've focused on that you can see already?
It's just it's a bit of a variety. It's just speed, fitness, general strength. I'm just looking forward to putting it all on show.
Are you doing a lot more strength and conditioning work now than perhaps previously?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because that's something Dom kind of focuses on and is known for. Just wanted to ask about Richards. When the fight was cancelled the first time, in fact, ever since the fight was cancelled the first time, he's been quite vocal in his criticism of you and the withdrawal and everything else. Has that kind of stoked the fire a little bit, made it a bigger fight than it was before, or are you a bit annoyed by it? You know, it's not really your style.
No, listen, I don't really think this fight needs bigging up anymore. It's a big fight anyway, especially for a London show. But it always helps obviously to have a vocal one in the party. Yeah, listen, talk is cheap. Actions speak louder than words, and the actions that I'm going to show February 2nd will speak louder than any words that I can speak. So yes, I'm cool, I'm calm, I'm collected. I'm rather leave it to February 2nd, get in the ring, and then all the talking's done. Then he's got to back it up.
What do you make of Craig Richards? What are his main strengths and weaknesses that you've noticed when scouting him?
No, I wouldn't run Craig Richards down. Listen here, the only reason I'm fighting Craig is he's a good fighter. I don't want to fight people who say at a lower level or walk over to me. That's the reason why I, in the first place, called this fight on. Because obviously at the time I had a good bit of momentum behind me. I had come off the back of a win of Sheriff from Shinquin. And I wanted to keep building that ladder, and obviously up my ranking in the British rank. So yeah, he's a good fighter, just not good enough.
You talked about the British rankings. It's just been nominated Joshua Boazzi against Liam Conroy for the vacant British title. If you come through against Craig Richards on February the 2nd, is that a fight you'd like to challenge the winner of that?
Oh, definitely, 1,000,000%. Yeah, for me to fight and to fight for the British title and win the British title is definitely. I think that's probably a dream that every fighter when they first turn pro wants to achieve. So yeah, so that's definitely. So let's get February 2nd out of the way first, and then we move on from there.
Who do you fancy between Boazzi and Conroy? Obviously, if Boazzi does win, it's an easy fight to make.
Yeah, no, listen, I favour Boazzi, but Boazzi's he's a good overall fighter. He's a good fighter. He's strong, solid, and I think he's got a bit too much skill for Conroy.
Brilliant. Well, we thank you for your time. Best of luck on February the 2nd. We look forward to watching.
It's a pleasure, mate. Okay, thank you.
Cheers, mate. Really appreciate it.
mundial para ti?
Bueno, me gusta que mi promotor apueste por mí. Yo creo que primero hay que superar retos como es el del día 2 de febrero y después veremos lo que viene a nivel mundial, pero primero hay que cumplir el día 2 y que salga todo como esperamos.
It's nice to hear my promoter backing me, but right now the challenge is on the 2nd of February, so I'll take care of that night and then we'll see what comes next. First and foremost in my mind is the 2nd of February, and we'll see what challenges lay ahead.
Thank you very much, Sergio. On to Ted. Ted, I'll do the translating for you. Obviously, a massive jump. I mean, you've been through this like Lawrence has with Byfield. The last fight got extremely heated. Now you're at the world level. Forget European level. I believe you're at world level against Sergio Garcia. No smack talk, just business. And really a massive, massive night for your career on February the 2nd.
Yeah, of course. It's great to be headlining a bill just around the corner from where I grew up. And the thing is this fight, like last fight, was Byfield, and there was a lot of grit and a lot of trash between us. And that gives you the extra motivation. But for this fight, it's a European title. He's highly ranked with the world governing bodies. And the thing is, once you win a European title, there's only one other step after that. And when you turn pro as a professional fighter, I've sat where Charles has sat, I've done all this, and when you turn pro, your goal is to be a world champion. You don't know yourself fully if you're going to achieve that. You don't even know if you're going to get a shot at that. But I know if I win this fight on February the 2nd, and I'm highly confident I will, after watching my opponent's fights and studying his style and stuff, then I'm there, I'm in line, I'm basically there for a world title shot, and as you say, it's a world level fight. So I'll go and put on a good show again on February the 2nd, and it shows how much I'm improving and shows what level I'm at.
Is there a worry, obviously not from you, but you know, even there is probably from the team that this comes real quick, like you've been to the domestic level of Byfield, you've dealt with that, but normally you would have, you know, another 1, 2, 3 and then move on to European level. We're going to find out real quick how good you are, basically. We know you're British level, we know you can go beyond it, but this is the proof in the pudding, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. The thing is, I've got a great manager and a great coach with Tony and Charlie, and the thing is, they know what they're doing. They wouldn't take this fight if they're not confident in me. Tony ain't a man who'd like to embarrass himself and put his fighter in with someone who don't think he can win. If he didn't think I was good enough to do this, I wouldn't be fighting this fight. But obviously after the last fight, we looked at who's at British level, and to be honest, there ain't too many people there domestically. So this is a step I took. I looked at Sergio Garcia and I asked Charlie and Tony, I said, look, can I push for the European? I want to fight for the European. And they said, all right, we'll have a look at him, see what we think. A couple of days later, they said, oh, we're going to put it to Eddie. The fight's been made. So it shows opportunities in come. I knew when I fought for the British title that it was just that step I needed, and then opportunities will come. And now, again, if I go and win this fight, it can be career-changing.
Having watched Sergio Garcia myself and knowing that you are always in great fights, stylistically, this is set to be an absolute war between you two. We know that he's world ranked, top 5, I believe, with the WBC, top 15 with other governing bodies. I know Sergio Martinez personally. He's like one of their flagship guys who's looking to fight for the European title, and this is going to be a brutal fight on February the 2nd.
Yeah, of course. I'm going to take nothing away from my opponent. He's 28-0, but when you look at records, you look at my 15 opponents and you look at my last few opponents and the experience I've picked up in them last few fights, and then you look at Sergio's opponents. Obviously, look, you don't know exactly who these opponents are, so you can't take too much from them. He's not a crazy puncher like Kerman Laranjo, who stopped Bradley Skeet. He's only had 30 knockouts out of his 28, and he ain't fought world beaters. So obviously I'm not going to take nothing away from him, because it's going to be a great scalp once I obviously win on February the 2nd. But for my record of fights I've had good tests and I've been managed really well, and I know I'm ready for this step, and I know there's a lot of great things to come after this.
Interesting, we saw likes of Lewis Ritson step up and fight a European level opponent who had similar kind of resume, had lost, but same kind of thing, and moved to that level. wasn't quite ready, had his problems in camp as well. Before we go, I know you're only looking at this fight, and I know you're probably tired of talking about it on social media, but Scott Fitzgerald against Anthony Fowler is made, will be for the end of March as well. I get the impression, by the way you're talking, that it's really a case of, if I win British and European, I'm the governor in that division, and if I choose to fight you, it's down to me. But we do know that the winner of that fight against Ted Cheeseman for the British and European title is a major arena fight in 2019.
Yeah, of course, it's a major arena fight, but we've both got managers, and look, Dave Coldwell, they've shied away from the fight a few times already. They think this is the fight to make them ready. To be honest, Scott Fitzgerald's not exactly a test, because they're both going into unknown territory, so you don't know how good Scott Fitzgerald is. He's underperformed against journeyman so far. It might need a big fight like Fowler to make him step up, but they're obviously both confident in winning. But right now, if I go and win on February the 2nd, I hold the ace card, and the pair of them have got a pair of jokers. So like, they got to bring something to the table, do you get what I mean? And if I'm getting opportunities for like a world title shot, could you imagine get an opportunity for a world title shot, win a world title, then fight Fowler, and it's like a mega fight, then it turns into like a pay-per-view fight, do you get what I mean? It's a public demand, but obviously it's a mini-scale fight now, the public want to see it. I'm boxing them to prove a point, but like you said earlier, you want to make box office and pay-per-view starters, and I'm aiming to do that sort of stuff, so let's see what the year brings us.
Good stuff. Well, first things first, February the 2nd at the O2. Very pleased and proud to see you up there headlining and coming through the right way. 15-0 going for the European title. So much great young talent on the card, and still a couple of fights to be announced this week as well for February the 2nd. We're going to have head-to-heads now with Ted and Sergio, and also with Craig and Jake, and then we're going to have one-on-ones with everybody who you need to chat to. Thanks for coming. We look forward to seeing you February 2nd at the O2. Thank you.